I just want to say that this is in the early stages, the speech, and it's a very big role. I'm the kickoff speaker for the Houston Writers Guild annual conference. The people I'm speaking to are all either seasoned indie writers, which means self-published writers, or wannabe writers. So I'm trying to give them a message that's going to inspire them to start the process. The rest of the weekend is about technique, it's about getting published, it's about marketing, but my role as the kickoff speaker is to get them started, all right? And I think the reason I was selected is that I'm a very, very new author, but my book has been out a year and it's won 3 awards, so I think they felt, I had some information to share with these people, okay?
Would you like to be closer?
There you go. All right. Okay. Welcome to the 2018 Houston Writers Guild Indapalooza, the annual conference for all indie writers, self-published writers. You are in for a fabulous weekend of inspiration, training, and community. My name is Faremouth, and just a few years ago, I was sitting right where you're sitting. And what a journey it's been. I never thought I would be up here being the kickoff speaker for this wonderful event. Madam Toastmaster, distinguished members and guests, I believe we all have a story inside of us. And if I'm right, and we do, why aren't there more books out there? Why aren't there more novels out there? Memoirs, short stories, fantasy novels. You get the picture. The answer? That big dragon inside of us called self-doubt and fear. He needs to die. To some degree, a universal challenge for every writer and artist that we all struggle with, even as the famous writers such as the Nobel Prize winners, and maybe even J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, is that we don't think we have the right stuff. Are we good enough? Do we have something important to bring to the marketplace? Do we have the right tools in our toolbox? And unfortunately, because of that dragon within us that stops us in our tracks, our story never gets told because we don't know how to slay that big dragon, that mean, ugly dragon within us. Today, what we're going to learn is how, as a working writer, we can slay that dragon of self-doubt and fear that holds us back. How can we become more self-confident so we can see our work more clearly and be able to write our stories and bring them out into the world? But where is the sword we need? And what kind of sword do we need to get the job done? The sword I'm going to hand to you today is infused with many components, many numbered components. And we call these components the Faremouth method. In my business as an executive recruiter, I use these steps, or this method if you will, to help people achieve what they want to achieve in their career world. As a writer, I also know you can use these steps to slay that dragon within you that's holding you back from bringing your writing out into the world. The first step is do a self-inventory. Ask yourself, why do you write? What does writing allow you to do? What does it mean to you? Slaying that dragon within allows you to acknowledge how important writing is to you. Many years ago, like many of us in this room, I was having a real personal challenge. In a very short period of time, I lost several family members and friends to death. And I was sitting in front of my computer one day, and I was so full of grief and sadness. And I thought to myself, I've always heard that writing is therapeutic. writing helps us process. So I got on the computer and I Googled writing for healing. And I looked at the class, it was on a Sunday, and right away, the dragon within said to me, "You can't write. Are you crazy? You're gonna go in there with all those good writers and be the biggest bimbo in the class." And I got the sword out, and I cut its head off. And I enrolled in that class, and I went. To fast forward, my book has been out 1 year. It's won 3 awards, and it's helping many people. Had I let that dragon of self-doubt and fear win, I would have never been on the path I'm on now. So when we do our self-inventory, ask yourself why you want to do this, and then slay the dragon that tells you you can't do it. Number 2, ask better questions. By asking better questions, we create more clarity for ourselves as writers. What is the book you want to write? How may it be connected to your own personal life themes? What genre or subgenre do you want it to be? How far along are you in your writing journey? What kind of community might you connect with to help you get on this journey, to begin traveling on this path? Would a writing coach or editor or peers make your writing life flow more easily? I think as writers, we often ask ourselves questions that are more about why we can't do it as opposed to why we can. And I think as writers, we have this thought of being on this mountaintop all alone, writing this wonderful book. And in reality, that's not the way you get there. How you get there, how you get your book out there, is by your community, taking writing classes, getting yourself a developmental editor, working with a proofreader, but working with other writers to help you get out there and be confident that you can do it. I know I asked myself before I started, and my book took me 4 years to write. I remember I had a boyfriend at the time, and I told him I wanted to write this book, and he said, I really think I can do this. He said, you can't write. You'll never do it. Well, needless to say, he wasn't a boyfriend very long. But anyway, you have to ask yourself questions that are going to help you feel good about your project, right? And maybe your writing isn't going to produce a book, or maybe it's going to produce a great essay, or maybe it's going to produce a short story that you can publish in a magazine. So it's not always about, the big J.K. Rowling process of Harry Potter and being, the world-renowned author. It's about, like my book, all right, writing something that has personal meaning. My husband was never happy in his career. He always wanted to do something else. And as a recruiter, I didn't help him get there. And I was always haunted with the fact that if I would have helped my husband to find a career that was more aligned with who he was, would he still be here? And it always haunted me. Well, obviously I can't bring it back. But how many people can my book help to not ever get to that point? And that's what my book has done, right? With the Faremouth method steps. All right, number 3, step out of your comfort zone. What are you going to do to step out of your comfort zone? Okay, how are you going to get there? All right, nonfiction was my comfort zone. I was been a recruiter for 36 years. So I did what we call a prescriptive nonfiction book. My book is a how-to book, all right? But I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and writing 2 more books. And the 2 other books are novels, right? They're fiction books. So it's been a big deviation from my comfort zone, all right? But being in this community with writers, hearing other fiction writers, what they go through, what kind of stories they've written, that's given me the courage to step out of my comfort zone to write something different. Number 4, take the time to do it right. So often as writers, we want to wave that wand and we want that book to be out there in the marketplace. All right? doesn't work like that, right? You have to go through several drafting processes. I remember saying to my writing coach, I don't think this book has enough meat to it. I don't think it's good enough. He said, okay, what else? What's it missing? Well, I need more points. Okay, go do more research. Had I put that book out 2 years before it actually came out, right, it wasn't done yet. It wouldn't have had the content that it had when it came out because I took the time to do it right. And think about it in your own life. Things that are worthwhile really never happen just like that, right? As a mother or as a father, you know, raising kids is a process, right? And there have been times when I wish the process would happen a lot faster and they would be, you know, out of my hair. But it takes time to get it right. So ask yourself, give yourself permission to do it right. And when an ugly dragon reels its head and says, you're not doing this fast enough, you're not getting this out there enough, that draft isn't good enough, stop that dragon. Take the time to do it right. It'll be worth it. And step number 5, be a hunter. All right? Now, I'm not suggesting that you go up on some deer stand and you write your story. All right? That's not what I'm suggesting. But we have to hunt for what we want in life. We can't expect it to come to us. Right? Just like, you know, 2 years ago, I had to give a speech to 3,000 people. My son said to me, Mom, if you go up and give that speech, you're going to give a good speech, Mom. You're going to go to Toastmasters. So I hunted. I went to all these different Toastmaster clubs until I found one that I thought that resonated with. Right? The same thing with your writing. Take the classes. Go to the festivals. Go to the book clubs. Be around other authors. Go after what you want. Because I think what we do so often is we sit back, all right? There's two kinds of people, what does they come to us? There's two kinds of people essentially in this world. There's what we call systematic gatherers that sit back and wait for things to come to them, or there's the hunters. They go after it, all right? They go after what they want, all right? And sometimes that ugly dragon's gonna say to you, you can't get there. You can't write this book. You think you're gonna win an award? Are you crazy? It's never gonna happen, right? We have to slay that dragon. We have to go after what we want. And it might not happen the first draft or the second draft. It might take 4 years, like it did for me, my first book. My next 2 books are not gonna take that long because I've taken the time to go after it, to find out what I want, to get the tools I need to seek what I'm looking for, all right? We hold the sword in our hand to slay that dragon of self-doubt and fear. Embracing these steps takes the power away from that dragon and makes your work stronger. You know, just Saturday, I have to tell you a funny story. I was at the office and I had to go to meet a candidate for coffee at Starbucks that was way out in Clear Lake, and so I was on my way, and all of a sudden I got in my car, and the car's turned on. It's a brand new car. The car turned on, but there's no navigation, there's no radio, there's no nothing. So I called the dealer, and I'm not happy because I have to go all the way to meet this candidate. And I said, you know, I just got this car. This never happened with my other car. And this lady's like, look, this down. Come on, get to the point. And she said, ma'am, it's probably a software malfunction. You're going to have to bring it. I said, I don't have time. She said, well, I can't tell you. You're going to have to bring it in. So I called the candidate. I said, I can't do this today. I have to do it tomorrow. I go all the way to the dealer. And I walk up there, and they told me to ask for Kevin. I asked for Kevin. And Kevin wasn't there. He was at lunch, which didn't sit well with me. So here I get an attitude, all right? So anyway, they take me back, the man took me back to service, and I told him what happened. And he said, well, go over there and have a cup of coffee. I'll come back. So the man comes back to me, and he says, this other man comes, are you Marianne? I said, yes. Come here. And he said, I found the problem. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, is it software malfunction? No. You didn't have the power button turned on. Okay. How often in life do we not have our own personal power button turned on, right? We look at the problem, the malfunctions all out here, when the real malfunction is in here, right? To slay that dragon, hold that sword. Don't let go of your personal power. Believe you have what it takes to write your story, right? We all have a story inside of us. Let your story come out and share it with the world. And it's just